So if I go to the student engagement, so this is what you will see on the dashboard. This simply gives you an idea how much students is engaged into the unit. But I understand that some of the units do not require students to be engaged at all. So in those cases, you can basically ignore it. So this will be very less, but it doesn't matter for those units. So this unit engagement basically has three links over here: settings, details, and calculations. So if we go to the details first, what does it do? It showed the student engagement for each student, how much is the engagement for each student, right? So this is a quick way to see, okay, student number one, this one has a 50% engagement, 54% engagement, and so on. And if you put your cursor over here, it will give you some summary of that particular student engagement. For an example, as you can see, this one is showing have not logged in within last 7 days, on time submission 12 out of 14 activities. So as if you put cursor to all of these, it's a quick way to judge your student how much they're engaged. At the same time, you can also use these filters to narrow it down to what you want to see. For an example, you can say that, okay, I want to see all the students who hasn't logged in for the last seven days or something like that. So you can use this one, or you can use this one, that engagement submitted gradebook item. So I want to see all the students who hasn't submitted probably 50% of their assignments. So you can basically filter it down. Now, just one more thing I want to highlight over here. If you click to these links, it will show you detailed calculation how this 54% is calculated. Now, if we go to the second one, is the calculation part, is actually that unit calculation, how the calculation is done 48%. I want to be very clear to everyone. So first of all, if you go to the calculation, you can see, okay, my unit engagement is showing 48%, and this is how it is calculated. From the login for the last 7 days is 15.64%, which I am taking 100% of this is this one, and which in total I am taking 50% of this one, which is 7.82%. And the other 50% I am taking from here, which is a gradebook item which is not submitted, right? So just remember, if there is no due date, I'm basically ignoring those. Because iLearn Insight doesn't know when they need to submit. If there is any due date, then I am considering only those days which are actually passed from today. So I'm taking the past, and iLearn Insight is basically expecting that those activities needs to be submitted by the students. So for an example, for this one that I have found, these are the activities or the assignment that students should submit, and on-time submissions iLearn Insight has calculated like this, and it put the weighting automatically to make 100%. And the second weighting over here is same, because all the assignments are in past tense. But if you find a new session, new unit in this session, then you might find, okay, all of them are not basically past dates. So basically these two columns might be different. Then it calculates all the contribution value for all of this, for all the assignments and for all the students, and it comes to 39.88, which basically we add them together to 47.7 and rounded to 48. I do understand this is quite complicated, but when you start to use it with your own unit, it will make sense to you, and it will become very, very easy. Otherwise, feel free to ask me or mail me, then I can show it to you. Third of all is settings part. So this settings part is actually in iLearn Insight that you can change the settings to according to your engagement requirement, right? By default, it is always locking activities 50% and on-time submission is 50%. And all the assignments that we get over here, which has a due date, I divided into number of assignments and calculate what should be the percentage to become this column to be 100%. Right? So this is by default. And now when you want to, if you want to change it, Now it's up to you. You can change it. For an example, if you think like this should be more weighting, so you change it to 20% and you decrease other to lesser than that to make it 100%. Conditional weighting is basically this. This is by default, I didn't take into account. This is up to you. So you can change the condition saying that, okay, I want to give weighting of 20%. If somebody gets a grade greater than 50, so you'll choose greater than over here and 50 over here.